hate it when someone thinks that you're flirting with them, but you're actually just being really nice.
Yeah, mate, all the time.
It's just so stressful.
All the time. That's why I that's like why I think I've like, sometimes I purposely go out my way to seem a bit more reserved. You know?
Yeah,
because I think like, I get it a lot with guys and like, I don't know, I'm quite an awkward person. So I really don't enjoy being made to feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
Like there are a lot of times where I'll go to like, whether it's a gathering, a party, an event, just whatever. And there are people there that are like, and I will try and make a very conscious, like heavy effort. And there are some people that just don't want to know. And like, I don't know, because there's a difference between being rude and being shy.
Yes.
Shy is where like you're still kind of like talking, you're contributing, but the conversation's still there.
Yeah.
Rude is just where like you're just kind of like giving them like the minimal and just nothing else. But yeah, no, I have it where like, I don't know. Like I'm that person who I'm a bit of a people pleaser. I'm that person who wants to get on with bare people, right? And I think a lot of guys are, oh, he wants a bit of me. What happens to you? What are you? Because you're quite a friendly guy.
Yeah, I'm just like a really complimentary person. Like I will speak to and compliment pretty much anyone. So it's just kind of like I've been chatting to like many people just in like a business way.
Is this in person or virtual?
Both. And then it's kind of like people look at me and it's like, are you flirting? It's like, I'm not. Like I'm genuinely.
Is this from women?
From anyone, which is lovely, but like I don't want the men. Like lovely, and I appreciate.
Me and you both.
But yeah, it's just kind of like I don't like. I respect it.
Do you know what it is? That I think obviously because like I think a lot of straight guys aren't very approachable. Like let's be honest. Like sorry, but like they're not.
Are you sorry?
I need to be careful. but like, no, it's true though. Like a lot of straight guys aren't actually approachable.
Yeah.
So I think when you have like a guy who's straight, who is very friendly, very complimentary, everyone's like, okay, well, what's the hidden agenda type thing? Do you know what I mean? Because it's almost like, okay, so they're gay or they're trying to get with me. Yeah, like you said. Yeah.
And like I'm not. I'm just trying to be nice.
Yeah. We need more people like you. We need more men like you. Then saying that even the queer men I link, they're not nice people.
Oh. That's sad.
Not links, sorry, more like get DMs from.
Yeah. Oh, the DMs. What a scary place that is.
You get like a lot. What's the weirdest DM you've had?
Many. Like, you know, like the general kind of hacker things, which is like, oh, I can send you news. Like, I have that. And then, sometimes just get like people sending like weird stuff.
I find it really weird when like people like find your content and from whatever, and they'll start DMing you just random crap. So I had someone, he doesn't follow me anymore because I think I annoyed him. I had someone who followed me on my account and he was like, oh, I've seen loads of your videos. I really agree with what you're saying. And it was like a random account. There was no picture on that. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And he was like, also helps that you're really handsome as well. I was like, three messages in.
That's a bit icky. Like I've had people view my content and then they'd message me like, oh my gosh, I love your content. And similar to you, like couple messages down, it'll be just like, it's not even handsome. It's just like, can I ask your sexuality? It's like, I'm straight. And they're shocked. Genuinely shocked, and they're like, "Are you sure that you're straight?" I was like, "Yes, I am." It's
because you're very, you're very friendly.
Yeah,
you're in touch with your feminine side, which I'm here for. You're just like it's not a bad thing that you're just I'm
just me.
Yeah, you're just cutesy. Yeah, just you. Are you like a hopeless romantic?
Yes, I am the person who watches every single rom-com, and I'm like, that will be me.
Ladies.
Like that will be me. Like the whole idea of like taking someone out on a date day, I am there for.
Oh, okay, let's talk about it. Where do you want to take someone? Okay, I'm your girl. Hypothetically.
Gorgeous, lovely. We love that.
Where are you taking me?
So we're probably gonna start somewhere like brunchy. So we're gonna start off with some food.
Oh, you're a midday person, not an evening.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start kind of like midday morning-y and then work all the way to the evening.
Oh no, okay.
So
personally, I couldn't do a date for that long, but carry on.
Yeah, but this is like a date day when you've been in a relationship with someone for a while. This isn't like.
Okay, well, all right. Can we go with like initial?
Initial, it would not be a date day. Initial would be something fairly standard, but also quite fun. So
you don't drink, do you?
No, I don't drink. So something that involves food afterwards, but potentially something beginning with like a mini golf or something like that.
Do you know
That's
what?
yeah.
No, for real. Because I find that, I don't know about you, but I think I love drinking. Big up. This sponsor has to come through this year.
It really does.
I love drinking, so I like the idea of going for drinks. However, I find that like it can either go one or two ways. With drinking, you either become, Mum, if you're watching this, skip. If you either become very to the point that you're not making sense, or the complete opposite, where like you're just, I don't need to do hand symbols, but yeah. So I try to avoid drinks on like first dates. I think sit down meals are a nice type of thing. I don't like the cinema because that move has been made.
No,
cringe. Remove. I don't really have the idea of a perfect date, but yeah. Sorry, carry on. So what would you do?
So mini something like that. Something activity based to start off with, because sometimes you need something like that to put someone in like a competitive position and be like, oh, how do you react in that situation? Which I quite like. I like to see. I quite like people who are kind of competitive and who are going to like...
Keeps it fun.
Yeah. Because it's like if we like the relationship grows and everything, then we're going to be able to have like those silly moments, which I really, really want in a relationship.
For sure, man. Yeah. I went on this date, right? It was like... Oh, God, it was so bad. It must have been a few months ago. And I think... I could be wrong. I think he was quite anxious.
Okay.
Which I'm not, you know how like some guys and girls are like, oh, I need a really confident man. That doesn't actually bother me. I'm actually not fussed by that because I'd rather someone be a bit more reserved so I have them to myself. Yeah. Maybe that's my toxic trait. But I went on a date with this guy, and he was quite anxious, and we were and like the conversation wasn't really flowing. And I don't want to be that person, even if it's not like the best experience. I don't want to leave like quite soon. No, I don't want to like leave like so soon after. So it's like, oh crap, he didn't enjoy that type of thing. So I'm kind of like longing it out for what I can. And then we start talking about flight prices. And I kid you not, for the next like 40, 50 minutes, my guy would not stop talking about flight prices. But I think because he was quite anxious and like whatnot, he kind of thought, okay, I found common ground with this guy now and we can talk about that. And I just remember being sat there thinking, is there anything this guy can talk about other than flight prices?
I mean, unless he's paying for flights, like, then it's...
Well, he just kept on going on about where you can get really cheap flights from. It was quite, to be fair, it was quite useful. There's a few airlines that I've like looked into for like future reference. But like, the first one I've met someone, I don't want to hear about that. But then I don't know. Sometimes I think, because I'm like single, like I'm single as fuck.
Same.
I feel like for me, sometimes, because people say to me all the time, I get told a lot that I'm fussy. I think you get told that as well.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I got told that I'm quite fussy a lot of the time, but I think, do you know what is for me? I think I set the standard so high because I expect, not so much, but I expect like a certain particular way of behaving and whatnot. You know what I mean? I just want like common courtesy and just like, what are the words that I'm trying to elaborate on or get out of my mouth? I just want...
Respect?
Yeah, which I think is quite hard to find. Like when I like listen and talk to people about their relationships and the way they talk about their other halves is just like, you'd think they didn't like them.
Exactly.
And I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want someone to big me up 24/7.
Same.
Even if I'm pissing them off. He's annoyed me, they've annoyed me, but big up him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a question. Do you have any like non-negotiables in dating?
Say it one more time.
Do you have any non-negotiables in dating?
How do you mean?
Like, for example, you will not go out with someone who doesn't do this or, you know, isn't specifically something, whether that's like they're not ambitious, like if they're, you know, quoted lazy, would that put you off someone or would that be like, nah, I can't enter into that?
It depends on the circumstances.
Okay.
If they've got a reason as to why they're lazy, then fair enough. But if they're just lazy for the sake of being lazy, well, it depends, because you can be, if you're like lazy, but you have like a good job or like you work hard, evens it out. I think the only thing that I think I really cannot compensate, which I can think on the top of my head, is someone who is heavily right-wing. Okay. That's the only thing at the top of my head that I like, obviously like anti-black and like anti-trans.
Yeah, because that would be scary.
But a lot, honestly, like, a lot of queer people are like it. A lot of queer people are like, oh, like, or all for like gay rights, but not so much for like trans rights. And I've met a lot of guys like that who are like, oh, like I don't get it. I think it's like different. I think it's weird, and like, that's like a red flag for me. I'm like, no, sorry, I have trans friends. I'm not willing to like partake in that behavior because eventually, who I'm dating meets my friends.
Exactly.
And why would I ever want to make my friend who happens to be trans uncomfortable? You know. No, it's not for me.
That's fair.
Anyway, right, I want to move on the conversation. So I saw a tweet earlier on in the week. I haven't actually told you about this because I was intrigued to get your reaction.
Okay.
And I think it was like, you know, when you get on Twitter, like unpopular opinions of something.
Yeah.
So this one had unpopular opinions of Kalani.
Okay.
Right. So basically, Twitter went on a bit of a field day and they were basically saying, oh, Kalani's not black. Kalani's not black representation. So obviously it kind of like created this conversation about the debate about whether mixed race people can be seen and perceived as black people. Obviously, I'm biased because I'm mixed race. So I'm going to when I'm going to edit this, I'm going to have the pictures of Kalani that are on Twitter.
Cool, that's fine.
So in these pictures, in all fairness, you can't really tell, but there are so many different forms of blackness. I try not to assume. But this is right. So that and that.
Okay.
Obviously, her mum's white. Yeah. As the black one.
Yeah.
Okay. So my question to you is, what is your take on like whether or not mixed race people can be seen as black people or not?
That's a very interesting question, actually. I feel like, I mean, from my perspective, anyway, like I'm not a mixed race person, so I don't actually know what that experience is like. But I've seen, you know, many mixed race people in the media, and I felt represented by them. So I don't think you can discount someone's blackness just based on, you know, they have a white parent. I feel like that's unfair to do that.
Yeah.
Because that's effectively doing what white people do to us all the time. It's just like, oh, you don't fit into society enough. Like, oh, you're ghetto, you're this, you're that. But then, you know, you have someone who's mixed race who may have like a white parent or whatever, and you're like, oh, you're not black enough. Sure. And I don't know what that experience is like. But that can't feel great to have that said to you, like not feeling like you fit somewhere.
I feel like as a mixed race person, you have to appreciate and acknowledge that you have privilege. Okay, so like evidently, I mean, obviously, I have lighter skin, lighter complexion. Half of my family is white. Therefore, like it would be stupid to ignore that and not like recognize that. However, more than not, I think if you have to pick between one or the other, mixed race people, in my take and from what I've seen with my other people, are more likely to be seen as black people, right? So like the way that I've seen it, if people have a visible presence of blackness, usually more than not, they've been referred to as a black person. And like I said before, you have to appreciate and acknowledge if you are a mixed race person, you have certain privileges because you're lighter skinned. However, more than not, you are more than likely going to be seen as a black person socially, politically. But at the same time, you have to appreciate you are never going to experience the same hardships and the consequences and the downfalls which someone will experience if they are darker skinned or, well, fully black, I guess. Yeah, that's the way that I see it.
And I think that's interesting because, like, I've never really, and this is a personal thing, but I've never really, like, bought into the idea of, like, fully black because the idea of like, yeah, like you may have like one white parent, one black parent, but you still have an amount of blackness. I think there's an amazing creator online. I believe he's an actor and he's mixed with Chinese and black. And he put out this post which I thought was amazing, saying that I'm 100% black, I'm 100% Chinese. Like that's all of me. So I feel like it's quite discrediting to say to someone like, oh, you're not fully black. I mean, like, because it's like you're full in your blackness, but you also, you know, have another part of you that you are fully. Like you can be fully multiple things at the same time. I
feel like I see myself as a black man. I know that offends some people and I apologize for that. I just don't think I don't think, other than obviously having lighter skin, I don't think I really have many benefits from being mixed race, to be honest. If anything, I think a lot of mixed race people go through like a lot of identity crises and struggle to navigate who they really are and like what groups they belong in. Because it's like the argument of like being too white to be black and too black to be white. But the thing that I think really, the thing that I find quite annoying is, so you say to certain people, okay, you're mixed race, not black, you're not black, whatnot. But like, we don't give the same energy to a lot of celebrities. Rihanna's mixed race.
Yeah.
Drake's mixed race, J. Cole's mixed race, Georgia Smith's mixed race. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When do Drake and Rihanna ever get called mixed race?
You're really right there, because it's just kind of like there's that acceptance into the community, like we claim them, and it's like the whole idea of like someone's black
Picking
card
and
being
choosing,
revoked.
yeah. It's very selective. And I think, because I saw a really interesting thing, because Kalani deleted Twitter ages ago, but this was like 2 years ago, and she was like, oh, I appreciate, as a light-skinned black woman, I hold many privileges that a lot of people do not. However, like, I'm very aware that I have this and I don't, and I will never try and take that credit away from black women.
Yeah.
And I thought, do you know what? Well, for black women, shall we say? And I thought, yeah, do you know what? Like, I think that's the perfect way of wording it. But obviously, I'm always going to appreciate, and like, my mind is blank today. I don't know what it is. Appreciate and realize that, like, we do have it somewhat easier to an extent.
Okay.
I'm not going to ignore that, you know?
I think it's really healthy to acknowledge the privilege that's there, because I think when you ignore it, I think that's often where you get yourselves into like those difficult situations when it's not acknowledged.
100. 22 minutes already. Fucking hell. Okay, right. So we're going to play a segment called Side to Side.
I'm excited.
Made by yours truly.
Yay.
You good? You thirsty?
Will it make you feel better if I have a drink?
Yeah.
He wants to look after you.
Not even.
Let's just continue liver ruining.
So I'll just go home.
You really are sassy today.
No, I'll go home. It's fine, man. Don't worry. No, I'll go home, bro. Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
I've poured it now.
Hey? No, I'll just go home after the studio. It's fine. No drama, no skin off my back. Okay, yeah, so this segment is called Side to Side. So basically, you know the drill, but we have two options the right word?
Yeah.
Two selections, I guess. So you pick one or the other, we give our reasons why, and then we just go from there.
Awesome.
Pretty easy. Okay, so concerts or festivals?
Concerts.
Yeah, same.
Because if I'm going to a festival, I'm only realistically going there to see one or two people. Like, I'd rather just go to a concert and see everything instead of, like, personally, I'm not a fan of festivals. Like, I would go, like, if a bunch of friends were going, I would go. But, for example, I would never go on my own.
You don't give me camping energy.
Camp where? I wouldn't know.
No, I was.
On the ground? No.
Do you know what? I was pretty... I was pretty good before COVID. Like, between the ages like 16 to like, when was COVID? I was 21. 16 to like 20, I camped like every summer for a festival for at least 5 days. Now, I could not think of anything worse. I like the festivals. So I go to Parklife every year. But Parklife's great because you go back.
See, that I think I could deal with.
Yeah, we get like an Airbnb, which is obviously probably more expensive than camping, but I don't like camping. So I like that. And obviously festivals are quite good in the sense where like, it works really well if there's like a load of acts you want to see. So at Parklife this year, there's Ray, Flo, Fred again, H, Slow Tie. Like, it's a good selection. Yeah. And also I get to go home. Well, not home, but I get to like not sleep. But then concerts, I feel like you know what you're getting because you've like picked one or two people and you're like really, really gassed. You have like because I feel like with festivals, a lot of the sets can be quite short.
Yeah.
And that can be very annoying when you've gone for like one or two particular people. Yeah. Okay, you said concerts, right?
Yeah, I said concerts. I enjoy them like a lot more. I feel, I guess, a bit more comfortable there.
Yeah.
And obviously the whole camping thing is never happening. Like, I don't care who else.
Have you ever camped before?
The closest thing I've been to camping is sleeping on a block mattress on the floor. That's the closest. And it's
in a house?
In a house. I'm not doing it.
Okay, so not really.
I literally refuse. I'm not going outside.
Yeah, that's fair. How is it, Sam?
It's nice, mate.
Take a sip then. You haven't taken one sip, have you?
I have. I literally took a sip and I put it down.
Have another. May as well have a third. Cool. Thank you. Peer pressure. Right, Jamaica or England?
Now, that is a difficult one because both have their pros and both have their cons. I feel like for weather, Jamaica.
Have you been to Jamaica? You have, haven't you?
Yeah, when I was like a lot younger, but I don't have the memory of it, but I've seen pictures, so it looked amazing.
Okay.
Now, what I'm about to say is going to be controversial, and I don't feel like I fully agree with it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm going to say England because I don't think I would be able to survive long term in Jamaica. I could go there for a holiday, but I don't think I could survive there.
And the thing is, right, you really stand out if you're not from there. My grandmother is Jamaican born and bred, and when she went to go visit, my uncle wouldn't let her walk the streets by herself.
Yeah.
But then my dad went in last September. Was it last September? Yeah, he went for my stepmom's birthday, and he was literally walking around, and he was like, "No, I was fine." But I reckon he was just really lucky. Like, I'm certain because some of the stories I've heard. Do you have any family from Kingston?
I feel like they live around the area. I don't think they live in there.
Kingston apparently is a place just no one goes to. Like my lot were in St. Catherine's and they were like, I'm going to Kingston. And they were like, represent. And they were like, no, don't go to Kingston. Kingston's like dodgy. Like people get shot in Kingston. And that's coming from locals.
And that's scary. Like just shot in the head straight up.
With like no repercussion.
Exactly.
Like, people probably won't get caught for it either.
Yeah.
Also, like Jamaica's very homophobic.
Yeah.
Very and quite probably quite sexist as well, actually.
Yeah. Also, their medical system is dreadful. Absolutely dreadful.
Well, yeah, no. So my cousin actually, my cousin who was Jamaican actually died the year before last. She was pregnant. She was pregnant and had COVID, and she was told at the time that she couldn't. I don't know why she was told this or why they were told. She was actually told at the time she couldn't have the medicine she needed because she was pregnant, which obviously they've now realised isn't true.
Yeah.
But obviously in the UK that just wouldn't have happened.
Exactly.
But
yeah, it's just odd.
I haven't been to Jamaica. But then the UK is very screwed.
Yeah, like I'm not a fan of the UK. Let's be real. Like,
do you want to live elsewhere?
Like, I would love. Can we if we're going to take the gun violence and everything out of the consideration, I would love to live in like LA. That would be like my dream.
I think, but you know what though? I think places like LA are probably safer. Like the bigger places are usually safer. It's more like Texas and like places that you need to look out for.
Yeah, but it is weird like going to America and just seeing people with like guns in their back pockets. Like
this is the norm. Yeah,
yeah, it's just so normal there, and I
it's
think
really
that'd be
easy
weird
to get like a gun license as well.
Yeah.
Like you literally you could have like a really like dodgy like record for whatever, and you could still get a license. It's actually quite scary.
Children can get licenses.
Really?
Children. There is a young female YouTuber that exists. This little girl. Are you like an active like subscriber? No, that could never be me. I just saw it on like a documentary about like gun violence in America, and I think she's about 9, and she has about 40 different guns and rifles. And on her YouTube channel, she shoots different things and she like tests them out. Yeah. Which is like for a 9-year-old, that's wild.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Actually terrifying.
Yeah.
But the UK is very bad vibes.
Agreed.
Okay, I'm going to say the UK. I don't really want to, but I'm going.
Same. Yeah.
I'm going to say the UK. Music or podcasts?
Music. Don't get me wrong. Love this podcast. Subscribe if you're not already. Like, do it now. But. Nah, but music as an overall. Music as an overall, like I listen to music all the time. Like when doing work, whilst exercising, like all the time. So yeah, music.
Yeah. I'm gonna say podcasts.
I mean that suits your brand. Like.
I can't imagine if they're watching now prefers music. I feel like it definitely used to like music is like my happy place. It has been for like a very long time. Obviously, because I have tinnitus now, I can't go too crazy. Thank you. I can't go too crazy with the music, but yeah, I'm gonna say music. Wait, hang on. No, I'm not. Sorry, I'm gonna say podcast.
You can't go against your own brand.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna. Thanks, Sam. I'm gonna say. You good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, just checking. But sorry.
Let's go.
But yeah, I'm gonna say podcasts.
Yeah.
Right, let me try again. Okay, I'm gonna say podcasts.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Driver or passenger?
I'm gonna say driver.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like I've become the person that I really enjoy driving people places. Like in my friendship group, I'm the person who will always offer to pick people up, always offer to drop people home. So yeah, I enjoy driving. Am I the best driver? No, but I enjoy driving.
Same. Don't worry. Join the crew.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say passenger.
that's fair.
I just love like not having any responsibility. But then some of my friends are really bad drivers. It depends. I feel safe with Sam.
That's fair.
What?
You were listening, you'd hear. No, we're talking about driver. I said driver or passenger.
Yeah.
And I'd rather be the passenger. I feel safe when Sam's driving.
Shoot.
I try. Yeah, no, I'm just very lazy and I really enjoy being laid back and just doing the minimal.
That's fair.
But then a lot of my friends, they actually don't feel safe not being the driver. I've got this one friend and she hates like being the passenger, absolutely hates it. Like actually makes her feel on edge. Thankfully, most of the things I go to, she goes with me. So I'm like, okay, cool, fine by me. Okay. I think I know the answer to this one. Right. That's a Raven or Lizzie McGuire.
That's so Raven. Why was that a question?
Yeah, do you know, when I was writing it, I thought, what a waste of time. Like, this is a very...
Like, Raven Simonier, we have to say her name right now, but like...
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, like, we have to say it, she corrected everyone.
It's French, right?
Yeah, her name's French, so like,
Yeah.
I want to say it correctly. But like, that's so Raven. Every single episode slapped. Don't get me wrong, Lizzie McGuire had its moment. It was great.
Yeah, and I feel like Hilary Duff is the only Disney star that hasn't become really problematic.
Yeah.
Hasn't had problematic moments.
Are we talking about like old Disney or are we talking about Disney in general?
Old, I think.
Oh, yeah, because old Disney, yeah, I agree.
She's the only one I can think of that hasn't said or done something that's really like flared up.
Definitely.
Okay. I'm going to say That's So Raven.
Yeah. Because that theme tune, iconic.
Yeah. Have you got Disney Plus?
I do.
Have you rewatched yet?
I have.
Yes.
I have. It's
have
so
you watched
good.
Raven's Home?
Yeah, okay.
What do you think?
Okay, I have many opinions on this.
Yeah, go on.
No, I'm going to say it. So I was the person who watched Disney Channel into like my late teens because I just enjoyed it that much. Like I was fully an 18-year-old watching Disney Channel. I didn't care.
I'm not going to go that far, but fair enough.
But I don't even care.
Yeah, if it works for you, bro.
Yeah. But like I watched it when it started and like it had its moments of like real greatness. But I feel like nothing can compare to the original.
I've really struggled to watch it, to be honest. I really enjoyed the first like two. I think they're on like season 7 now. They're doing really well.
They're doing
season
really well.
6 or 7. I really enjoyed the first couple of seasons, but I just couldn't. I think it's almost like when you get a sequel of a film.
Yes.
It's never going to beat like the original. But I'm going to say That's So Raven.
Yeah.
Just to be honest, like Raven Simone is the GOAT.
Simone.
Raven Simone is the GOAT. Like I think it's really cool, like how much significance her show had for Black culture.
Yes.
And also, not even that, like I think it was a time where like we didn't have a lot of main characters being Black women in comedy.
Yeah, agreed.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a real landmark, I think, for the community. And also it was really good at like having that good mixture of humor and actual like realness.
Definitely.
And like real topics. I remember there was a really good episode about the racism and how she didn't get hired to work at that shop.
Yeah.
And Chelsea did and Eddie did as well. Yeah, I just think the cultural significance of That's a Raven is like ever long lasting. It's just gonna be a very like I hold it very close to my heart. It's a very important part of my childhood.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite show.
Ever? Like childhood show. Oh, okay.
And Raven Simone is my favorite actress.
I rate that.
But I have seen her in like other stuff. That isn't that like non-Disney related, believe it or not. Do you remember she was on Dr. Dolittle?
Yeah, I was about to say that. So good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we love her. She's great.
Her and her wife are very cute.
Oh.
Very cute. I think it helps that she's queer as well. Like low key. Like, you know, I just always thought, I was like, we've got something, but I can't figure out what it is. And then she said she was a lesbian. I was like, yeah, there we go. I mean, obviously, I'm not a lesbian, but yeah. Okay, right. So, Okay, so we're on Saturday. So yesterday, Miley Cyrus released her new album, Endless Summer Vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Highly anticipated after obviously Flowers came out, which is an absolute banger.
Yep.
What are you saying?
I feel like Flowers for that album was like the pinnacle of that album. And it being like that, the first song, if you go into it, it's a great first song. However, I feel like going through it, it's just probably a bit too mellow for Miley. I feel like this reminds me of, did you have an album called Malibu, or she had a song called Malibu? It reminds me of that song, but throughout the whole of the album.
I love that album.
Like,
Younger
yeah.
Now, I love that album so much.
But it feels like just that song Malibu, it feels like that just kind of repeated in kind of different ways or different iterations.
That's what you think it was like?
Yeah, but just like a mellower version of it.
Oh, I love that album. I don't know if I can relate. I think we have different takes the first time we listen.
Definitely.
So I think I need to keep that into account. I was quite disappointed because I really, really, I love Miley Cyrus and I'm proper rooting for her. However, it just didn't hit.
No.
Like it was all very samey. And I think, do you know what it is? Because Flowers was literally, like Flowers is the biggest song in the world at the moment.
Mm-hmm. It's everywhere.
I'm sure it will still be on Tuesday.
Like it's still number one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So currently, and hopefully still on Tuesday, it'll be the biggest song in the world.
Yeah.
So I think everyone had like this really high, big anticipation because she hasn't had a song this successful for like since Wrecking Ball.
Yeah.
Which is like 10 years, which is pretty impressive.
Definitely.
Very, very impressive. So I feel like with situations like this, you can't really win because it was very much like nothing was going to beat Flowers, but we all wanted a body of work that was going to match the ability and capability of Flowers.
Yeah, definitely.
Saying that though, I love Miley Cyrus. I love her brand. I love what she's about. I think she's made her transition into the music industry quite, what's the word, like substantial? Because I feel like when you're a Disney star, you're not taken very seriously. Yeah. There are very few that have been able to do it and do it well.
Very true. And
like Selena, Demi, and Miley. I mean, I think Miley's the best, to be honest. But obviously,
that's a very interesting take. Sorry, Karen.
Out of the three,
yeah,
who do you think's the best?
Like what best in regards to what? So
like singing,
vocal ability. I would say either Miley or Demi. Like vocal ability.
Okay, yeah.
Because like both Miley and Demi, they can belt. They can properly belt. But Selena can't quite do that. Again,
she's still
love you. But
she's still making her money there.
She is. And you know, with the makeup brand and everything, we love that for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's very impressive how well she's done. Because like I said, there's not many acts that can like go from their child star and then become really well. The only person who I think has done it like amazingly and doesn't get referred back to her old character is Ariana Grande.
Yes.
She's the only person I think who's done it amazingly well.
Zendaya?
But she's not a singer.
But she
I know she
had albums.
She can, but I don't see Zendaya as a singer. I see her as like an actress.
Yeah.
I would say Ariana Grande has just like she's killed it, hasn't she?
Because like honestly, Victorious wasn't even a show about her, but she became the most successful.
Yeah. Well, she wanted to actually be a singer before, but but they were like, you're really young. Yeah. You're really young. No one's going to sign you, which is completely fair. Yeah. She was like 14, 15. But I tell you what, though, I do really love the whole concept of Flowers.
Same, like that music video.
Very clever, very well thought out. And I think that's why everyone's, the reviews are pretty good, to be fair, for the album as a whole. But I think that's what I was like, not as, I don't know, just didn't receive it as well because it was so good. I thought, okay, well, surely everything else has to match this.
Yeah. Because I feel like if we had one of the other songs, maybe like if Jaded was the single before the album came out, then I feel like we would have gone into it probably with a different kind of perspective. Because Jaded is a very different kind of vibe than Flowers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like if there were more tracks released before we had the whole album, then maybe we would have had a different expectation.
I appreciate the versatility.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she can kind of jump anywhere, which is great.
Okay, so TikTok has gone a bit wild this week.
Just a bit.
So do you like, what's your question? What's your For You page like?
It's really varied. Like,
what was it like this morning?
This morning, so I have a mixture of fitness stuff, like Christian inspirational stuff, and like dance videos. which don't kind of correlate with each other, but they're very, very different. And there'll be like a random celebrity that pops up that I didn't really ask for. So yeah, it is quite varied, my For You page. What about you?
Mine is the Selena and Hailey beef.
I can't with that anymore.
Mine is podcast TikTok.
That makes sense.
Mine is Madam Joyce.
That is on brand.
And it is black queer TikTok, really.
Yeah.
But like at the moment it is pretty much just Selena and Hailey. That is all I'm getting. But I'm not going to talk about that because I don't want to cause any more like fire. Or whatever you call it. Sorry, coconut rum. But yeah, so Northwest, do you know what I think is really interesting, right? She is low-key living the dream because any singer that she likes, her mum seems to get to come to the house and do a video with her.
That would be amazing. I would love that. Like, you know, Stormzy, if you want to come around my house, that'd be great. We can chat, we can film some TikTok videos. Amazing. But, you know, I don't have, you know, Kim Kardashian as a mum. Don't get me wrong. My mum's amazing, but she don't have those connects like Kim K.
Sadly not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she did a video with Ice Spice. To be fair, I ain't gonna lie, like everyone's obsessed with Ice Spice. I think she's cool. I don't really know much of her music. I only know, are you quite familiar?
Familiar enough, like I'm familiar with like the kind of popular stuff. If you ask me to tell her any
same.
like,
I recognise the sounds, but that's about it. Like, I know her from her music from TikTok and all of that, but that's literally that and nothing else. But she, so they did a video together. It was quite, I don't even think it was that weird to be fair, but and then she reenacted it with the wig and the same dance, and obviously everyone's getting a bit. I think it's weird that people are sexualizing a kid. Because I didn't realize how young she was, in all fairness. I don't know how to start this. Obviously, okay, she's 9 years old. I thought she was like 13. I don't know how to start this. What's your take?
I feel like children on social media, there needs to be like a big safeguarding update, because all social media platforms were never made for children, despite the fact that there are some children on there making absolute money off these platforms. I feel like there's an uncomfortability. It's like seeing someone like Northwest or, you know, any of these younger celebrity children who I'd say under the age of like 16 on TikTok is just weird to me.
Yeah.
It's like really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And the fact that, you know, there are old creepy men specifically, more than likely, just comment on these videos saying really dodgy stuff. It's not great.
So Kim Kardashian, from my knowledge, censors her account so that you can't use comments. But the thing is, right, the thing I find a bit confusing is, and I get that obviously like prevents a lot of it, but if she simply searches the hashtag Northwest, or if she sees her videos being duetted or stitched, I don't think it really prevents that much.
No.
Personally, if I was, obviously I'm not Kim Kardashian, you need money to speak to me if I'm Kim Kardashian. But like, I think I couldn't, if my children were to have accounts, they wouldn't be public until they are at an age where they are responsible, not even responsible, just an adult, referred to as an adult under law or whatnot, till then they can do what they want.
Yeah.
But I can't really see the benefits of a 9-year-old having a TikTok account.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sam?
Yo.
Would you give your 9-year-old a TikTok? Actually, no, let's refer it back. So, okay, you're Kim Kardashian. Yeah.
Wow. Pretty good. Got a lot of money.
You'd have fun with me tonight if you were Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Your daughter's got a TikTok account. Have you seen Northwest TikTok? Yeah. So your daughter's Northwest.
I would not give her a TikTok account.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give her any socials that were public. I think it's silly.
Until like we were saying until you're like an adult, so you can take control and do what you want.
I get that, like, it's not fair to their kids, but it's like in the same sense they've got like this mad life.
It's protection more than anything.
Yeah.
It's mad life. Like, they might not be able to have a social media account, but they could probably have one. It's just make it private.
Low key, just for friends. Yeah. Because have you seen it where like she'll do like she'll run off with the phone and do like a TikTok live, and for all we know, she could like show the address backs or something.
Yeah. Like that's one thing that's scary.
She like King of that. Like, let's be honest, the Kardashians, they're such big targets.
Yeah.
They're such big targets. Like they must have like such high data protection. Because Kanye, and like, you know, it's a bit fucked when Kanye West is making sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because even he was saying, he was like, why is my daughter on TikTok? Like, this is literally exploitation. I don't agree with this or the app. But like, he was like, well, what can I do? I don't live with her.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that Kanye is actually making sense is like, oh God, like, but it is though, innit? It's like, well, yeah, no, like.
And I think like any child, like realistically, no child before the age of 13 should be on any social media. Because if you look in the terms and conditions, that's the age it says that you can start. From Facebook, I think Twitter, Instagram, I don't think it has that. And TikTok was never created for children. Even the creator of TikTok said that he doesn't even let his children use TikTok. So if the creator of the app that has children isn't letting his own children use the app, why would anyone else?
No, so my friend's brother's girlfriend is really big on TikTok, but she's under the age where you can get monetized.
Okay.
So she has a sufficient amount of likes, views, and followers to make money, but because of her age, she can't receive that. And I think that just says it in itself.
Exactly.
She's a lot older than Northwest. I want to say 15.
Okay.
And even at that, I think that is if that in itself is like a suggestion or like an indication, like stay off social media.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else needs to be said or needs to be done.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, what age did you get social media at? Like, how young were you?
13. My mum wouldn't let me have it before 13.
So same. Like, I was exactly the same. Like, I
12,
didn't.
13.
Definitely
Secondary school age.
Yeah. So I got Facebook on my 13th birthday. The day of my birthday, we set up the Facebook account together.
Do you know what though? But like, looking back at it, I kind of appreciate it.
Same.
Because I think about how many people, not that they're like, I don't know, like got long-term like issues or whatnot, but I can appreciate and understand now why, because I feel like once you're like, what's the word? Not immune, but when you're like aware, conscious of it,
Yes.
you're kind of like stuck, like a spiral.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? Like my phone time consumption is ridiculously high. It's disgusting.
Yeah,
TikTok actually gave me a notification warning me to come off the other day, and I don't know anyone else that's had that.
Is it that video of that lady walking around the room? Because there are videos that will come up and mean like, you've spent enough time on TikTok now.
No, it's like a little thing it's like a little notification box in the corner, top right corner, that'll be like, you've spent it. Do you want to take a break? Or I can't remember how it was. I should have taken a screenshot, but yeah, no. So I do think, I just think there needs to be a way that we can censor it. But I don't think what she's doing in itself is actually that wrong.
Yeah.
As like a normal like, do you know what I mean? Like 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Just taking the mick with her mates.
Exactly.
It just happens to be the fact that obviously she's Northwest and this can be, like this is stuck on the internet forever now. Because I do think with a lot of the things she does, I do worry for when she's older. And when she looks back at it and she thinks, oh, like that's stuck on the internet forever. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of wish Kim Kardashian kind of looked at it like that.
But then I think also with Kim Kardashian, the whole Kardashian-Jenner family, I feel like there is a big, with, you know, Momager Chris, is very much like, well, it's putting our brand out there more. So like that helps the brand image because like if we're thinking about it from that headspace, that's better in the brand image because they're getting a younger audience and more people know about the Kardashians and the Jenners.
Do you think Kris Jenner would go to that extreme?
Yes, I do. I really do. I feel like deep down she's probably this lovely person, but as soon as she got that taste of fame, she was just like, "Yep, cool. Let's do everything. Let's do all these things."
Oh no.
So yeah,
I feel like I'd value my grandchildren's protection more than this, but I just think like because obviously I can't think what the song's called, but an Ice Spice song, and so I did some research, right? And I was thinking, okay, what songs was I like dancing to when I was like 9 years old? Okay, so like so hypothetically, I'm the same age of Northwest back in my time, right? So she's dancing to Ice Spice. I'm dancing to Lollipop. Loving This Club.
Never Loving This Club was a vibe.
Closer.
What, Neo?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is my tune to this day.
Touch My Body.
Oh, that was a lot.
And Bust It Baby.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's literally the equivalent for when I was 9 years old. So I kind of get it. Not that I was taking videos and posting it online, but
then like you probably, I don't know if you were, but some kids at that age were like filming themselves to go nowhere. It was just like filming with friends, like in the house, like, you know, like back in the day when there were like camcorders and stuff. And you just put out a camcorder and just film yourself doing
take the mic,
So it's like that, but just posting it on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's It's an odd one. I feel like all social media platforms need to put more safety in place. So with like the online bill that's meant to be passed in government, that needs to happen so much sooner, because
Is it pending, is it?
I think it's pending. I think they kind of pushed it back, even though it's quite urgent for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
Like the safety of children online, but then the different types of content that they're seeing, from, you know, weight loss things to all of these other things that are fairly triggering for young people to be seeing.
of course, man.
So yeah, that just needs to be passed. So please, government, hurry up, because you know you're letting the children down.
Speaking of the government, move on to the last bit.
So yeah, our government have been moving really mad recently. So they've recently.
I just feel, do you know, I feel
Yeah.
like the UK has a standard and it just gets lower and lower.
Yeah, like I'm no longer surprised by when the government does something either really, really racist, really, really shady, really, really homophobic. I'm not even surprised. I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's this UK government just doing a whole breed of badness.
Yeah, motherfucking purr.
But yeah, like recently there's this whole thing with Gary Lineker, and he's kind of become effectively like a martyr in this, which is really odd, because what the government are trying to do is stop all of the boats coming in from immigration.
Yeah.
Which is wild anyway for them to try and to do that, because
Has the law been put in place yet, or is it pending?
I think it's pending. I think, you know, Suella Braverman, yeah.
Is Suella Braverman English?
No.
Right.
Which, you know,
Doesn't really make sense.
it doesn't make sense, because you would hope and you would think having more people of colour in, you know, government would be helpful. It's not.
No, it's
They're
not.
just being puppets of, you know, white supremacy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really, really frustrating, because it's like Suella Braverman and Priti Patel, they are the same person in different fonts. They're doing the exact same things, if not worse, just in different fonts.
No, agreed. I feel like the thing is, right, what I was saying this to Sam earlier on the train, what I find really infuriating is a lot of these is migrants the right word?
Yeah.
A lot of these migrants who are like coming to England, like it's out of desperation, you know what I mean? But we're not taking the piss.
No.
And a lot of them are literally risking their lives to get on these boats. And for them to only get sent back is like a real kick in the face. And
It's not even sent back. It's criminalised, detained.
Sorry, criminalised. Yeah, well, even worse than that. Yeah. And I think a lot of these people who are willing to like risk their lives to come to England, right? They are willing to do like the worst types of jobs ever. Do you know what I mean? Just to like provide safety and like security for their families.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're willing to do literally like most things that a lot of us UK lot just wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think if a lot of them are coming to our ends and literally doing nothing at all and just taking the mick, then fair enough. Like I can appreciate the frustration and the annoyance. But like when you have people who are literally like relying on the government and not doing anything for themselves, they're then barking because there are these people who are literally desperate to come to our ends and like try and make some kind of new life for themselves and for their families. I don't know how we can, as a country, fault that. I'm actually embarrassed.
It's really embarrassing.
Super embarrassing.
And I think what makes it worse is I think Suella Braverman was like, oh yeah, we take in so many of the world's like asylum seekers and refugees. I think we take something like 1.2%, if not less.
That's like nothing.
That's absolutely nothing. And it's like, oh, there's this refugee crisis. There is no crisis. There is no crisis whatsoever. The crisis that exists is a crisis of compassion and care. Because if people, you know, really cared about these people, as you just said, they're desperate. No one travels across the channel just for fun or just to be like, oh yeah, I want some benefits. No one does that. You travel that way because it's like, I need help. I need to get out of my country.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah.
And I think the UK has so much power. Like, okay, the UK currently is an absolute shitter. Like a disaster waiting to happen, to get even worse, if not already. And I think the UK has so much power and actually a lot of money compared to a lot of countries. And I think we've become quite detached from not helping those that aren't our own.
Yes.
You get. So I think this is just like a real example of how like the UK and the government and the institution is just like, it's just beyond screwed.
Yeah.
I need to stop swearing because I'm going to get a warning again. But like beyond, do you know what I mean? Like just literally like, I don't know. I don't know what we need to do to make some kind of change.
Yeah.
Other than getting rid of a like Tory government, obviously. But then people saying that, I feel like all the governments are like low-key right wing.
I feel like, yeah, all of them have very
Like-
wild views, but I feel like we need a change in government. We need something, please, because I'm sick and tired of
And
the
like, to be
Tories.
honest, I'm with Gary Lineker.
Same.
Because I read it earlier and I think, who was I talking to? Was it you? Yeah, I think it was you. And I was like, so what exactly has he done wrong? Because I think because Gary Lineker has so much power and is a real like the British public absolutely like adore him. Do you know what I mean? Like he's a very well-known, recognized face. I think because he's opposing those in power, the government, whatever, the prime minister, they don't like that. So the BBC thought, okay, well, the most appropriate way to deal with this is to remove him. But obviously, little did they know, all of his mates were joining him. So now there's no one to host, what's it called, Sam?
Match of the day.
Match of the day, thank you, yeah.
There's nothing. There's just an empty studio. Just absolute crickets.
Well, lesson learnt, to be fair, then, do you know what I mean? Like, all he was doing was saying what everyone else was thinking. Because initially I thought, what's he said that's so bad? And then I read it and I thought, well, actually, he's sticking up for those marginalised.
Yeah. But, and I think it's really, really not even interesting. I think it's wild that there have been many people like from within the BBC, from within the government, and also, you know, random people on Twitter saying like, oh, he's in sport, he should just stick to that. And it's like, he's a full human. He's a full human being who, you know, actually cares about people.
Yeah. Using his privilege to help others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, there are many people who don't do that, who don't have the privilege that he has and just don't care.
Yeah.
So, you know, big up to Gary Lineker.
Big up to Gary Lineker every time. I think
they've also loads of football teams refused to talk to BBC today.
When you say loads, how many's loads?
Well, it's been the Liverpool game today. They refused to do any interviews with BBC, and I think the rest of the teams have followed in suit. I don't know, but I know Liverpool.
I mean, it's just like, when you deep it, it's just neglecting like basic human rights.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not even like a debate, is it really? It's just like...
And that's the baseline of this government. Like, I think this law or this bill that they're trying to put in, I think goes against something like 57 different human rights things in the EU law. So if you're going against laws that have been created, then we got an issue. We got a serious issue.
Jeez. Okay. Right, okay, we're going to end it there before we get kicked out. Right, sweet. Thank you very much.
That's okay.
I feel educated.
Me too.
Did you ever be a teacher?
I mean, I have done a bit of teaching recently. I've actually been in some schools.
I saw that.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was really, really cool. So with the campaign I'm involved in, Make It Mandatory, we went into some schools and did workshops around domestic abuse and coercive control. And also we recently went to 10 Downing Street to hand in our petition.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you would be a teacher then?
I feel like I could be a teacher. I don't think I've got the patience of a teacher.
What would you teach?
Probably music or dance or drama.
Drama, I think you... Maybe like an English teacher.
I could be an English teacher.
Literature, not language.
Oh no. Like, I feel like I could be like a sixth form, or like if I'm a secondary school teacher, but like for the older years, I could not deal with year 7, 8 and 9.
Okay, so you'd be more like a college teacher.
Yeah. Or like sixth form. I could do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't do uni. Uni's scary to me. I couldn't teach that.
I'm more patient.
I don't think I would. I don't think I'd want that. I think I'd want... This is going to sound really weird. I think I would, as a teacher, if I was in, I would want to kind of be needed by my students, which that's probably a toxic trait. But I'd probably want someone to be like, oh, like, sir, like, what does this mean? Like, that kind of thing. I want that.
Okay, cool.
So yeah,
right, noted. Employers are watching. Cool. Okay, we're going to end. Thank you very much.
That's okay. Thank you.
What are the socials, please?
So Victory for You on Twitter, Victorious Darius on Instagram, and you'll see loads of cool, fun stuff because, yeah, there's just a lot of exciting things.
There's a lot of exciting things happening, pending.
Yeah, keep your eyes peeled.
Okay, please. Oh, Jesus, right. Okay, I think it's the light, to be fair. Right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Do you know, I don't really look into the camera. I like big up to the people that look into a camera for their job because I can't do it.
I love looking into camera. It's actually, I'm fighting the urge to not look.
Me and Sam are saying, so like Sam, like, me and Sam did a thing and Sam like was finding it weird like talking to me doing this. But then when I did something not too long afterwards where the camera was like I was looking and talking directly into it, I thought it was a bit strange, but I guess it's just like what you're comfortable with. Anyway,
yeah, because like I love doing the asides and just be like, hi. It makes me happy.
Oh no, you're a bigger man than me. Right, okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I can't think of my English isn't Englishing today. Sweet.